Hmm? Ah!
Your friends, Shepard and Reyes, do you know where they went?
No, I don't. Why is Claire here? And what was she talking about?
She's a confused girl, under the influence of an angry man.
What man?
For years, he has been trapped. But now Jacob is gone. He's free. This man will not stop until he has destroyed every living thing on this island. He is evil incarnate.
And you want me to speak to him?
No. I want you to kill him. He will come to you as someone you know. Someone who has died. As soon as you see him, plunge this deep into his chest. If you allow him to speak, it is already too late.
Since I've been here, I've been drowned, beaten, and tortured at your hands. Why would I ever do anything for you?
You said that there is still good in your soul. Then prove it.
Welcome to another episode of the Revisited Podcast. I'm Ben.
And I'm Kristin. This week on our Lost Revisited podcast, we are covering Season 6, Episode 6, Sundown. I did it.
Almost close to perfect.
Okay, yeah.
Almost close to perfect.
I know. Oh, but I did it.
It was it's the Revisited Podcast.
Yeah, well, we're 95 episodes in, so I finally nailed it.
Yeah, we are 95 episodes in. You're right on that.
Yeah, I'm amazing, in case you didn't know.
Do you know what's funny is the last episode I was because I was thinking about this. We had mentioned when we were talking about Lighthouse how, there's all the talk of the numbers, and 108 was the number they had to go to, and it also happened to be the 108th episode of Lost. I got thinking, I'm like, well, how are we only at 95? And then I remembered for a little bit when we first started this, we were covering 2 episodes a podcast.
I don't know why.
I don't know either. Like, why were we doing? Well, I mean, it would have never worked now.
No,
because we would have had 3.5 hour long episodes.
Right.
Covering 2 episodes of this podcast at a time.
We've come so far, Ben.
It's morphed. It's matured.
Yeah.
Just wait till we get into the next series, because the next series...
You just can't stop, can you? Okay, let's just talk about this one. Look at our screen. It says Lost Revisited.
And soon it will be... I won't say it.
Oh, gosh. All right. So, Sundown episode. Not a sun episode.
No, and it kept throwing me off.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching... Like, when I first started watching, it's like, oh, Sundown. I'm like, here we go. And your mind automatically goes to Sun and Jin, and then it's a Saeed episode.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I understand that it's because, Notlock said you have till sundown to leave the temple, but I feel like it could have been called something different. Unless the episode title was intended to be a red herring.
Okay, so before we go any further, obvious mentions, as we always do, spoiler full episode. We're going to talk about spoilers from the past and the future of the series. So be forewarned before we get into it. Thinking of new possible titles for this episode, I could think of one in that it could be called New Recruits. No?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean...
Or You're All Gonna Die.
Or, A good man would be a good one, because he says that he's a good man in both the Flash Sideways and the
Ooh,
like, to me, a major theme of this episode is the fact that Saeed is kind of on the same quest in both the Flash Sideways and on the island. He is trying to prove that he's not who he used to be. He's trying to prove that he is not Assassin Saeed anymore. He is a good man. And eventually, in both the Flash Sideways and the island, he submits to that darkness that's inside of him. And he kills Kimi and the crew. And then he also kills Dogen and Lennon, and ultimately letting in the darkness into the temple. So it's interesting to me, because I don't think that the characters have really had the same kind of quest in the Flash Sideways as on the island yet, unless you can think that I'm wrong.
No. I don't think that you're wrong at all. And I think one of the big differences between the Flash Sideways and the dynamic between the two that we've gotten in these past couple episodes of this season that I feel at least we didn't get in this one, is that with John and with Jack, we've seen elements that kind of are leading them towards their redemptions. These things that are happening in their lives that allow them to move on, that we talked about, both with, John being willing to accept the condition that he's in and the life that he's living, Jack getting through the daddy issues that he has, through his own son. These are things that have kind of coming together so that by the end of this series, they are able to move on into the afterlife. We didn't get that with Saeed at all, because now that we kind of know this is the purpose of some of these Flash Sideways,
right?
That's where my attention was with Saeed. I was like, okay, let's pay attention. Let's see what elements are working towards his character redemption so that he can move on in the end. And we haven't gotten that. I don't think we got that at all this episode.
So it got me thinking in the episode when I was watching it, when Saeed was talking to Notlock, and he was saying, and Notlock was like, if you could have anything in the world, anything at all, what would it be? And he's like, the only thing I ever wanted died in my arms, blah, blah, blah. And we're led to believe that that's Nadia, right? Well, it's obviously Shannon. Shannon also died in his arms. And this Flash Sideways is all about Nadia being just out of reach for him. She's alive, but she's married to his brother. He wants to be with her, but he wants to right the wrongs of his past. There is no hope for the two of them to be together, even in this Flash Sideways. So what I think it is that it's a resolution to Nadia is not for me. Nadia is not meant for Saeed. So, because eventually when he wakes up and he moves on, it is with Shannon. It is when he sees Shannon.
That's, you know what? I didn't even think about Shannon. And now that you've brought that into the light and I think about it, there are absolutely elements of his Flash Sideways that lead towards his redemption and moving on.
That's really all I could think of, because I was trying to figure out, because he didn't say, I want Nadia back. He said, the only thing I've ever wanted died in my arms. Well, we know that both of them died in his arms.
Yeah, it's kind of a red herring.
Yeah. And I think it's cool.
I do too, and I don't know why I didn't even think about it, because you're absolutely right. Going into the spoiler territory, when we get to the very end and they're all sitting in that church, Shannon and Saeed are the ones that are together. It's not Nadia.
Yeah, because a couple weeks ago, you and I were like, why is he with Shannon? Why wouldn't it be Nadia's in the church? His whole journey has been Nadia. But then it was watching this episode this week, I was struck by, oh, okay, I get it.
So I'm just going to amend my earlier statement and say okay, we didn't see anything. I originally said we didn't see anything that leads us towards that potential or eventual redemption of Saeed's character. I'm going to amend that to say we are seeing the beginning of it, but we haven't seen it all yet.
Right. Well, obviously, because we haven't seen Shannon yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought that the scenes between Nadia and Saeed were so sweet and tender and really intimate, but there was this like overarching sadness to both of them because I think they both knew that they couldn't be together.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I agree.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, like I don't know why I didn't think Shannon. And I think a lot of it has to do with these, we haven't seen Shannon since season 3. So it's been a while. Although we did kind of get the seed planted last episode when Jack and Hurley come across her inhaler in the woods or in the jungle.
They have been leading little breadcrumbs to her because she was also alluded to but not seen on the plane.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. When Boone is talking,
right?
Yeah, he's he does mention. Or wait, no.
He mentions that
on
he
the
went
plane.
Right.
Yeah.
He mentions that he went to go and get her, and she chose to stay, and he was flying back by himself.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, I mean, in some ways, we're seeing the redemption, of these. We're seeing these moving on moments of some of these other characters too. Yeah. Just not in the detail that we're getting with Jack and with John and with Kate and Saeed and all the major characters. We're seeing elements of Boone's ability to be able to move on and that he was able to leave without Shannon.
So do you think he's the first one in the church then? Just waiting for everybody else?
He's waiting for everybody else.
He's like, guys, I did it.
Where is everybody? Like,
I can't be the smartest one here.
But it's going to be interesting to kind of watch along and see if we're going to see more of those moments with some of these other characters, because there are going to be a lot of returning characters who we're not going to see these full-on fleshed out, I'm able to move on stories. I mean, we see obviously Charlie makes a return, and Lucia makes a return, Libby makes a return. All these characters are going to be coming back by the end of the series. And
which is such a brilliant way to bring them back, honestly, and really to pay homage to the entire series itself, because it was such a cultural phenomenon when the show started. So I love the fact that they had a way to bring everybody back for the final season in such a beautiful way.
Yeah, because I think out of all the characters that we've mentioned, I think we see, for the most part, almost all of them come back. I think the only two we don't see in the end are Michael and Walt. I don't believe we see them in the church at the end.
Well, Walt gets off the island. And maybe Michael can't move on until Walt is actually with him.
But getting off the island isn't really a determining factor of them moving on at the end, because
no, but he got off the island and he didn't die and he continued with his life, is what I'm saying.
Okay, all right, that's a good point. He got off well before they went through a lot of these other things that brought them together.
Right. So I think that, Michael is probably still kind of in his flash sideways until Michael's ready to join him.
Okay.
Because the only thing Michael really cared about was Walt.
True. So maybe like they're just not part of this whole story like everybody else. They're in their own flash sideways.
And that's how they always were anyways. I mean, Michael made sure that he was kept somewhat separate from the rest of the group. Like he was still a part of things and he still was kind of on the outer edge of the inner circle, but his whole goal was to get Walt off that island and nothing else. He didn't care about anything else. So in that way, Michael and Walt, their characters were kind of separate from everybody else, kind of like Nikki and Paolo.
Oh God.
I know that they're terrible, but it is a parallel to the fact that there were other stories that, were not as significant.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting heavily into series finale discussion.
Well, that's, squirrel territory.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Squirrel.
Yeah. You just wanted me to push the button.
I did. I wanted you to press it sooner.
Yeah. I mean, so it's it's very interesting because we're going to see. I'm very curious now. Again, we're seeing the very beginning stages of what's going to become Saeed's redemption and ability to move on. I keep calling it redemption, and I guess that is, for the most part, what it is. But we'll see more of that as we go, especially considering we know how Saeed's story ends in the real world. And it's not a happy one. You know,
he's a tragic character.
He's a tragic character in that he kind of has always been, I think he's always kind of been predestined to be this way and for his life to end this way. But also at the same time, and I won't go into too much detail about this because of how hard it is. At the same time we lose Saeed, we also lose other characters whose story is tragic, but for a much different reason. Right. You know, because Saeed's ending only for I think in the most part kind of prolonged or delayed the ending of the other ones so that they could have a moment. Yeah. You know? Yeah. In which definitely gives Saeed's character some redemption in the end. That he made that sacrifice to do that.
The thing is that at the heart of it, Saeed is a good man. He is I very believe good
that
man.
Too. Yeah.
He has that darkness in him that was forced upon him when he was in the Iraqi Republican Guard. Royal Guard? Republican Guard.
Republican Guard.
Okay. And then he has that darkness that was basically put into him by Notlock. So, you know, I don't know. It's kind of like that, I don't know, like an allegory or something like that, where, you know, you try so hard to be this good person, but there's a little bit of darkness in you. And are you going to make that a little bit of darkness, or are you going to let that darkness kind of spread and take over you? And those are the choices that you have, you know? Saeed's such an interesting character, and he's always been one of my favorites because he's such a complicated character. And I think Naveen Andrews just does an incredible job portraying him.
Absolutely. I'm actually kind of disappointed in the fact that he is such a fantastic actor. And I love the fact that when you see him in other things outside of Lost, because Lost is really the first, he's like really the first time I really noticed Naveen Andrews. You know, that when I started seeing him in other things like Planet Terror and Rollerball, like he was in
Once Upon a Time.
Oh yeah, he played Jafar,
a giant or something, or was he Jafar?
I thought he was Jafar.
No. Hurley was a giant. Sorry.
Yeah. He was. Naveen Andrews was in the Once Upon a Time spin-off, the Once Upon a Time in Wonderland.
No, I think he was also in Once Upon a Time proper, even just for like one episode, maybe.
Well, I think it started in the spin-off. I'm looking at his IMDb now, and he's not listed in Once Upon a Time.
Okay.
He is Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, in which he played Jafar. He was also in Sense8. He's been in a bunch of other things, and it kind of throws you because we know him as an Iraqi in Lost, and in almost everything else, he's British.
Well, he is British.
He is British. Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, like it's his own actual voice.
Yeah. Is he Iraqi or is he Indian?
No, he was born in London. He's British. He's Indian.
That's what I thought, because there's a huge Indian community in London.
In the UK, yes.
Right. Well, in London particularly, like I know
that's where he was born.
It's a dominant food is Indian food in London, which is great because London food is gross for the most part. Everything's boiled and nothing is salted.
Okay.
India's like, I'm going to put some curry on it. It's going to taste good. And you're like, thank God for you guys. You've gotten here.
I've never had London food. I just recently tried Indian food for the first time. And oh my God, I loved it.
Yeah.
It was so good. And I even went like tame for my first time because I wanted to kind of just introduce myself to it. So I just got like butter chicken and garlic naan. And it was so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I want to learn how to make Indian food.
Squirrel.
I know. And I was about to keep going too. Okay.
That's why I hate it. But yeah, like Naveen Andrews is such an amazing actor, and I think like going back to what you were talking about as to how he was kind of always this way, how like really at heart he is a good man, like he says that he is, but we see different elements that kind of show otherwise. I think that it proves very interesting in the fact that when you look at who he's worked with in this for a majority of like these past couple seasons, pairing him up with Ben was actually rather brilliant. Because I feel like there's a lot of similarities in the two characters in that they are both two people who believe they are good at heart.
Mm-hmm. That keep doing terrible things. That
keep doing bad things for the sake of trying to be good. It's like doing bad things for the sake of helping good people. You know. Well,
I mean, Kate does the same thing. You know, she's a really good person. She's a murderer. But she did it for, you know, honorable reasons, but she's still a murderer.
Oh, it doesn't change the fact that she murdered somebody. Yeah.
Right, exactly. You know, there's a lot of that. And on the other side of the token, you have people that came to the island that were really rotten at heart and have since turned over a new leaf and have become a better person. Sawyer, biggest and Jin.
Yeah.
Well, Jin was a good man. He got caught up in, so you can even put him on the Saeed side.
The Saeed side, yeah.
Yeah. So it's very interesting when you Charlie. Charlie is another one on the Sawyer side. I mean, he was like, you know, into using drugs, you know, like he was dating that woman. Full on addict, displaying addict behavior, which is not good, which is terrible. You know, but he turned over a new leaf.
And when you look at examples like Sawyer and Charlie, it's very interesting to see that it wasn't something they did on their own. It took another person to lead them down those paths.
Juliet and Claire.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting. I mean, we could probably do an entire episode just on
relationship dynamics,
the characterization of these characters, and just, you know, the fact that they just have so much, they're so dynamic in the fact that nobody is who they were in season 1, now in season 6. Like, you could put season 1 and season 6 Jack Shepherd right next to each other, and they're two totally different people.
I think that's with every character.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, because Jack is the most, in my opinion, mundane character of them all. And even his characters, even his character from season 1 to season 6, totally different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think, you know, Jason, who left us feedback last week, kind of touched on that a little bit too, in that the reflections of these characters, you know, he talked a lot about reflections in the mirrors, but he also mentioned the parallels and reflections of season 1 to season 6, the first season to the last season of these characters. And, you know, Hurley last episode was a good example of that with just the skeletons in the cave. We talked a little bit about like, these are two things he like, oh my God, they're dead bodies. What do we like? I'm freaking out. To this season where he's literally just leaning on the cave, like inches away from these skeletons. Like, oh, I wonder who they are. Like, it's even Hurley, who has always been this happy-go-lucky character with some examples of when he wasn't, is still a different character than he was in season 1.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And well, they're not in this episode, so we'll talk about it a different time, because I was about to go even further into that. So just real quick before we leave Saeed, we're going to come back to Saeed, but
Saeed's the major point of this episode. I don't think we're going to leave.
It was great seeing Kimi as the villain in the Flash Sideways plot. Like when he shows up, he's like, I'm making eggs. You want some eggs? And I'm like,
I'm really good at making eggs.
Bastard, here you are. Of course you're here.
So I think I've talked about this before too, but that actor, Kevin Durand, I've had him on my other podcast. He's been on Wilhelm twice. He is, and this is one of the things that I love about Hollywood, is that it's always the nicest people that play the best villains.
Yeah.
And he is a prime example of that. Like he's one of the nicest guys. Both times he was on, he's like very happy-go-lucky and pleasant and funny, which is why like I was incredibly happy to see him pop up again, because he's such an asshole.
Yeah.
And this evil person earlier on, and now we're seeing him again playing like this almost charismatic boss.
Yes.
Who doesn't last very long because Saeed takes him out. But you're right. The whole scene with making the eggs is like, like it's such a great scene. And I want to say too, I actually, so I mentioned in this last episode how I've been reaching out to some of the actors from Lost to kind of maybe bring them on as we're going through this last season as kind of like some surprises. And I don't think I mentioned his name last week, but Mark Pellegrino, the actor that plays Jacob, I've reached out to him. So hopefully there's a chance we might have him on. I'm going to reach out to Kevin to see if we can get him on. For one, just to talk to him about playing Kimi for the short time that he did. I'm sure he's got stories. But two, he is also the reason why we were able to score our friend MC Gainey for the podcast.
I love
because we should put that up as like a replay, just so people who might not have heard it can go back and listen to that.
Yeah, do that, because I could have talked to him for the whole day.
Well, the best part about that was like I had him on Wilhelm first, and we talked about like all the other things he's done in his career, and we saved Lost because I had already made arrangements for him to come on here to talk about just Lost. And you ended up pretty much taking the lead on that conversation. And I kind of took a step back and I was like, I'm totally fine with this. I had my chance. Like, I'm going to let Kristin run with this. And you were great. Like,
thank you.
And he was so nice. But getting back to what I was saying real quick, and then I'll hit the squirrel button, even though it's still Lost related.
Sure.
When we booked him for both Wilhelm and for Lost, when I had the conversation with him, he told me flat out, he said, I don't usually do these. He's like, I don't do podcasts. I don't feel like I come across really well. He's like, because I just don't feel that well spoken. And he's totally wrong about that, by the way.
He's completely wrong.
He's completely wrong about that. Like, he's like, so I just don't do them that often. He's like, because like, I just don't feel comfortable doing them. And I'm not up on technology on how it works and everything. He's like, I went to your podcast and I looked at some of your other guests and I saw that my friend Kevin had been on your podcast twice.
Yay!
He's like, so I went and I listened to them both and they were both great. And he's like, you know what? I have to do this. So Kevin being on Wilhelm, because they are friends, because I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Wild Hogs with John Travolta and William H. Macy. Kevin and MC play two characters that are together the whole movie. So they've been friends for a while, and it's because of that he was like, yep. He's like, I heard those. He's like, they were great. If Kevin can do it, I can do it. So he came on, and we had him on Wilhelm and on Revisited. And
that was fun. I enjoyed it. That's a good memory.
But hopefully we'll have Kevin on here because I'm definitely gonna try as we go through. And I think I'm going to try for Naveen too, because he hasn't really done much in a while.
Oh, I would freak out if that happened. I would freak out. And then once I was done freaking out, I would be able to talk to him like a normal person.
I've been working on Michael Emerson for a while. Those conversations have been going back and forth, and I think there's a couple main cast members I'd love to get, but I know there's a number that we never will.
Evangeline Lilly
we'll never get. Jorge Garcia is incredibly popular at the moment. Daniel Day Kim might be difficult. Josh Holloway's a possibility.
I love him.
I know you'd freak. But I think
just need all I need is 5 minutes to have my nervous system calm down enough so that I could speak. That's it. It's my nervous system. It just ramps up real high and I get sweaty and shaky. And then once that's over, I'm fine.
I've actually talked to Terry O'Quinn's people. Terry very much enjoyed working on Lost, but he doesn't want to. he doesn't want to talk about it. He likes to talk about current projects, which is totally fine. And the only other person I can think of who I might try for this season is Ken Lung, who plays Miles.
You're naming all my favorite characters.
Well, they're great characters.
Yeah. But let's talk about what do you want to talk about? Because I've got some more directions to go.
Didn't mean to do that. I clicked the wrong button. So let's see. We talked about Kimi already, so I can scratch that note off. I'm going to pose a question to you.
Oh, I like that. No. Yes.
Oh,
paper.
Maybe.
Snow. A ghost.
A ghost. You beat me to it. So we get the whole scenario where, Dogen gives Saeed the knife and tells him, like, if you want to prove that you're a good man, here's how you can do it. Like, before you ever get the chance to you cannot give him the opportunity to speak to you. Otherwise it will not work. And then we see it all play out where he comes, Notlock comes in, says hello to Saeed. Saeed stabs him. Nothing happens. And Notlock gives him the whole story is like, this was never going to work. This was literally just a plan, an attempt for Dogen to send you to me so that I can kill you. What are your thoughts on this? Do we have
so many thoughts because it was going to be my next note before I turn it over to you.
I feel like this could play either way, because and we talked a little bit about this last week too with Notlock, and that he's very believable and convincing in some of the things that he says, where when he says that, you're like, oh yeah, this might have never worked. But then when you look at the situation, he spoke to him. Before Saeed stabbed him,
he said, "Hello, Saeed." Yeah. So the dagger wasn't
What's the
work.
truth?
Right. Well, because you see this dagger actually working on in the future when Notlock, or not, it's not Notlock, it's Man in Black. Man in Black stabs and kills his mother, and she didn't say anything because she didn't see him coming. So we know that the dagger works. The dagger was specifically because I did reading on the ancient dagger right before we started recording. So the ancient dagger was used by Man in Black on his own mother, and he came up behind her and killed her, not giving her the chance to speak. However, I think Notlock or Man in Black knows that, this stipulation about the dagger, and I'm going to pay attention to this now, which is probably why when he walks up to anybody, he says, hello, like immediately.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay. So is there anything mystical about his mother though, that would cause this to happen? Like that would lead to any suspicion that this dagger is special? Because if she's just,
I think all three of them,
because if she's just a normal woman, then it doesn't matter whether he comes up behind her or stabs her in the front. A dagger is going to kill you.
Yeah, but a normal woman wouldn't give birth to these two who have these extraordinary powers. Did they have a father, or was she just pregnant?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's more of the religious implications that we've gotten with before, because if she is technically the embodiment of Mary Magdalene, there was nothing special about Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene, it was not the one that gave birth to.
I'm not religious.
No, that's okay. Mary Magdalene was a prostitute who Jesus actually healed, and she started to follow him.
So then who is the...
Mary.
Oh, so Mary. Not Mary Magdalene, just Mary. Okay.
Just Mary, yeah.
My fault. I'm not religious, so
I'm here for you, friend.
Okay. So then not Mary Magdalene, but Mary. Right. If she is technically the representation of Mary, there was nothing special about Mary,
except for the fact that she was chosen to be a virgin and
exactly
give birth to God. But yeah, no. I totally see where you're coming from. However, it seemed that the three of these people had a spiritual, magical connection to the island. We don't know how they got there. Maybe they were always there. Maybe that was just their story, Yeah,
it's going to be interesting when we get to the Ab Abstrono episode and we get their backstory, because there's a lot about their story I do not remember.
Right. I remember some of it. But yeah, you're right. Not all of it. So, I think that the dagger would have worked if he didn't hesitate, if he just stabbed him like immediately. And did he have the dagger out? Maybe Notlock saw the dagger when.
Even if he didn't see the dagger, he would have to know, because he even tells Saeed, like, he kind of tells him in that conversation that he was almost expecting it to be Saeed that came out to deliver the message, because, he's been watching these people for so long. He knows how they work. He knows how they operate.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing, and maybe he did it intentionally, like you said, like he's done so many times in the past, of just when he takes his form from the black smoke monster into Notlock, the first thing he does is says hello.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
So knowing that more about the dagger, and again, it'll be interesting to kind of watch that as we go through to see if there really was anything special about their mother.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there was, then yes, I believe this dagger would have killed him had he not said anything. But if we find out that his mother was just a normal woman, it leaves it open to interpretation. Well, who was right? Was Dogen right, or was Notlock right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, but I do know that the dagger is a major point in the story for Abaturno, because Richard has the dagger for a while. And then the next time you see the dagger, it's in Dogen's hand in this episode. So, like, as far as the timeline goes, like if you're doing timeline of the dagger.
So we don't see how Dogen comes to acquire the dagger at all.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have to imagine, because of what we find out about Dogen in this episode, I would have to imagine it's probably through Jacob.
I mean, yeah, it stands to reason.
Especially if we know that,
let's talk about Dogen for a minute. What was it that made him so special that as long as he was alive, the people at the temple were safe?
Because
that story didn't really match up with why Dogen in particular was the shield for the temple.
I think it kind of plays into the backstory a little bit, because we do get that backstory. Like, we see him with that baseball, so we kind of curious. You have to imagine, okay, he's very clearly sentimental about this baseball, because it's what ends the fight between him and Saeed.
And it's always in his hand.
Yeah, he's always carrying it. He's always fiddling with it. And then when we see it fall to the floor, that's what ends that fight, which that fight was great. Anytime.
Yeah, but Saeed never had a chance.
No, not at all. But it's always great anytime you get to see that actor, Hiroyuki, because he's great.
Anything.
Anytime he does anything, yeah.
He's great in Bullet Train.
I know, which hopefully we get to do on This Is Showtime sometime soon. But yeah, so, and then we get the backstory that he was working, he got promoted, he went to pick up his son is killed, and he gets the offer from Jacob.
Well, his son is killed because he was the drunk driver.
Oh, I didn't kind of.
Yeah. Dogen was out with friends after work and he drank too much. And then he picked up his son from baseball practice and they got into a terrible accident. Dogen survived, and his son, they didn't say if he died or not, but he was in the hospital and it looked like he was going to die. And that's when Man in Black, Jacob offered to save him with the stipulation that he had to come to the island and he would never see his son again, but his son would be alive.
Well, and I think that's part of kind of the stipulation of everything, and I think that kind of leads to the reason as to why Dogen was that way. Probably the reason why he could never see his son again was because that was going to be his job. He was going to be his job was going to be to go to the temple and stay at the temple, and his son could never come to the island to visit. So that was the reason. But because he was kind of put in this position to stay at the temple and act as the shield to the temple, as you mentioned, is also the reason why he could never leave to go see his son. So, and that I understand, but what made him, what did Jacob do that made him this shield of the temple? Because he
after Jacob died, wouldn't all of that juju that was on him like disappear?
Probably not. I think once that spell has been cast or whatever it is, it probably remains. But I mean, you do make a valid point as well, because there is a lot of stuff that becomes undone once Jacob dies.
Right. One of them is that spring.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Obviously, there's something that's still happening because the Man in Black isn't able to get in there until Dogen is dead.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe because the protector of the temple was still alive, even if Jacob wasn't.
Uh-huh.
That meant that the spell was intact, or whatever it is. Spell, incantation, juju, whatever you want to call it.
Juju.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
That all of that stuff stayed intact because Dogen was still alive. So
yeah.
The spring wasn't a physical person. Dogen is.
Well, it's interesting also that he also killed, not only did he kill Dogen, but he killed Lenin. And I wonder if Lenin had the same like properties to him, just in case something did happen to Dogen.
I think
he didn't have to kill Lenin.
No, but I think Lenin was just wrong place, wrong time.
Okay.
I don't know if there was anything special. God, that makes him sound like such a useless character, but he's not. I don't think there's anything special to the island for Lenin, but I could be totally wrong about that too. We're just never going to find out. It remains one of those unanswered questions that could be left up to interpretation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we know Lenin and Lenin is such an appropriate name for that character because he's stuck in the 70s or the 60s. He
looks like John Lennon.
And he looks like John Lennon. Maybe he is John Lennon.
Oh. That's how he escaped Yoko.
Lenin was not actually killed. He was sent to the island to protect the island.
That's hilarious.
So,
do you think that? Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna switch. But before I switch, I did like the irony that Dogen and Lenin were killed right where they killed Saeed.
That's a good point. That's a good kind of reflection.
Yeah.
Another reflection on everything. Yeah.
And I did notice, because of course, after that voicemail, now I'm noticing stuff, that Saeed, when he went up to Nadia's house in the flash sideways, he looked at himself in the reflection of the mirror to the side of the door, the window of the side of the door.
I think we're going to see more of that as we go forward. Now that it's kind of been out in the open a little bit, I think we're going to start seeing more of these reflection scenes with a lot of these characters.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to take notes as we kind of see them happen.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. So at the end of the episode, we have Saeed and Claire and Kate. And as they're kind of walking slow-mo, out of the temple after the Man in Black has done his business, the Catch a Falling Star is playing. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until you played it right before we started recording that I realized that it's in like almost like a minor key, and it sounds like a lullaby, which makes it sounds a little creepy. But also the way that Claire and Saeed are walking through the temple out to Notlock, they look like they're sleepwalking. They look like they've actually been put under a spell or a trance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's not even that the darkness has overtaken them. It's like something has entered their body. And maybe it is the darkness. Maybe it's part of the black smoke that has been entered into their body. So it makes them a part of the Man in Black now. And Kate had that kind of sleepwalky way herself as well, but I think it was more in horror at what was happening.
I agree with you. I think Kate's was more, because Kate is kind of like, Saeed and Claire were overtaken by this. They were technically recruited by Notlock to be part of this. They were coerced into it and, convinced that these are things that needed to be done, whether it be by manipulation or by some kind of overtaking, like you mentioned. Kate is just wrong place. She just kind of, okay, like I need to get out of here. I'm going to follow these people, but she followed the wrong people.
Well, I think that she, I see how you're saying she was in the wrong place, but as far as her life goes, she was in the right place at the right time because she was able to jump into the pit and narrowly miss death.
True. I think in that case, because Claire's the one that tells her, like, no, I think you're safer down here.
Claire, man,
just hops into the cave. And we did kind of get that moment that I mentioned last episode where, and it wasn't as extreme as I remembered it being, but it was still there in the subliminal, in that Kate reveals to Claire, no, I have Aaron. I've been raising him. And those are the words.
All the wrong words.
Yeah, that was my thought exactly too. Listening to that, when she says, like, no, I have Claire, I'm like, okay. And she's like, I've been raising him. I'm like, nope, shouldn't have said that. Because
he's so pretty and he's so wonderful and he's this and he's that. Shut up, Kate. Get her out of the cave and onto a helicopter.
And she does come around and say, like, but by the end of that, like, but I'm here for you so that you two could be together. But it's too late.
It's too late. She doesn't hear you anymore. She does not hear you anymore.
Using those words, I've been raising him.
I took him.
Yeah. And I've been raising him as my own. Like, full well from conversations you have had with her that the reason, like, she was as terrified as having Aaron as she was because she was told nobody should be raising Aaron but her.
Yeah.
But yet you sit there and you tell her, I've been raising him. No, wrong words, Kate. That was the wrong way to approach that.
Given all the time she's had while looking for Claire, while making the decision, while on the plane, blah, 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 you'd think that she would have rehearsed what she was going to say. You know what I mean? I took him. I've been raising him. Should have been crossed off the list immediately of how to approach the subject. So,
you could have been like, no, they don't have Aaron. I rescued Aaron. I rescued Aaron. He's safe.
He's safe. He's with your mother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me take you to him.
Yes.
That's why I'm here.
He's safe. I'm here to get you to him.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you needed.
Go. I know. Yeah. I took him. I've been raising him. You stupid bitch. Like, you obviously have never actually given birth to a person because you don't. No. That is my heartbeat walking around outside of my body. Like, you don't get to say I took him and live. Like, the fact that she lived is remarkable. I would have killed her on the spot.
Look, like, I don't want to take away from the fact that what Kate is doing is incredibly noble. It's very selfless. Like, she's making this all about Claire and Aaron. It's 100%. Not about her.
We've talked about that at length.
But you still made a mistake in the way you revealed that.
Well, because also, like, when you're in a highly charged emotional situation, there are certain words that you hear and you don't hear anything after that. You hear nothing.
Yeah, it didn't matter that she said, like, I'm here to get you to him. I'm here to bring you two together.
Right. Claire didn't hear that.
Nope.
Claire heard, I took him. I've been raising him. After that, she heard screaming, internal screaming.
And with everything that Claire has done already, because she believed that these people in the temple had Aaron, you're right. I'm surprised Kate made it out of that pit. I really am.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I love Kate and I love Claire. And Kate is a badass in her own right. But with as feral as Claire has become, my money's on Claire.
And she's a mom.
Yeah, mom instincts kick in.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Those
my
are
money between Kate and Claire, my money's on Claire.
Yeah. 1,000%.
I just want to make this, I'll make this in quick mention just because we're talking about Claire and such. I love the moment with Miles and Kate when she's like, oh, like, yeah, you're that girl Claire is here. Like, she looks like she's been through a lot. Still hot though. And,
Miles,
like,
you know what? There's a character that never changed.
Yeah.
That character never changed.
But in that line of dialogue, when he's like, still hot though, I'm like, yeah, you're not wrong, Miles. You're not wrong at all. Because I loved Emily. I love Emily Dravin. I loved Claire, and even in that final season, still had a crush on Claire. Didn't matter.
Most people look better when they have dirt all over them.
Okay.
I'm thinking of like Walking Dead and like shows like that. When, I mean, Rick Grimes got more and more beautiful the more and more dirt was on him, and the sweatier his hair was, the more curly it got, and it was all in his face and beautiful. And then when they cleaned him up and put a cop uniform on him at Alexandria, I was like, you just took away half of his hotness.
I'm not going to argue because I feel the same way about Maggie.
Yeah, well, she was going to be my second example.
Yeah, Maggie just got hotter the more
dirt they threw on her. I totally agree. I totally agree. I agree.
Anyway, squirrel. A lot of my notes for this episode are just that. They're like notes. They're not major points, because I knew I didn't really have to write them down because I knew we were going to end up just diving into them like we usually do.
It was nice to see Jin. I was so happy to see him because I don't think he's gotten enough screen time this season.
Jin in the fridge.
I know. At least he was nice and cool. Oh, do you know what he said? Do you know what he said when he saw Saeed when he was speaking Korean?
No, do you have a translation?
I do. Let me just get to it real quick. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, they're kind of, while you're looking that up, they're hinting, they're giving us those hints of that reunion that's coming.
Here it is. Jin shouts in Korean, "Don't kill me, please, let me live." Not understanding what he's saying, Saeed asks, "Who are you?" And Jin replies, "No English."
Yeah, they're giving us those slow hints as to that reunion that's coming. They showed us Jin in the flash sideways in the fridge, and then shortly afterwards we get that moment with Miles and Sun when he's like, "Well, where's your husband?" And she's like, "Jin's here." Well, you kind of knew. That's why you went to the temple.
Well, she got confirmation from somebody that has seen him in the flesh. She's only heard that he's alive. But the best part is that Miles is like, yeah, like he's seen him every day for 3 years. He's like, yeah, man, he's here. Like, what? Why are you freaking out over this?
Even though he's not there, he's out in the jungle somewhere.
Doing God knows what. Yeah. So let me see. There's also blah, 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 blah. Oh, Kimi was wearing the Rolex watch that Jin was supposed to deliver to Los Angeles.
Good catch.
That wasn't me. It was just right under the translation. I literally wasn't.
Oh, okay.
But I did see the watch and I was like, oh, that is an ugly watch. Like that was my first thought when I saw Kimi wearing that watch, but it didn't connect with me that it was Jin's watch at the airport.
That's interesting because, you know, in both the real life and the flash sideways, Jin's job was to go to the US to deliver that watch.
Yeah.
And I don't think we ever find out who the watch was supposed to go to in real life because Jin never makes it to the United States. He crashes on the island, obviously.
Maybe this is where it was supposed to go.
Do you think Kimi was that person, or do you think Kimi's just filling the role of that person in the flash sideways?
I think it can be both things.
Well, because Kimi seems like a completely, like, he's still an asshole character, like villainous character. But to me, there's a difference between somebody who's in charge and somebody who is like a mercenary.
Oh, okay.
Kimi doesn't seem like a mercenary person.
No, not in this. Not
in the flash sideways. No.
Right. And he could have been the boss. You know, he could have been there because, I mean, who knows what his brother was into? We never really get anything clear about what Saeed's brother was actually into.
Well, I think he says it. Like he needed a loan to keep the laundry business afloat, and he took it from the wrong people.
Yeah, but it had to have been more than that because he said he paid his loan, which he probably did, but he was being squashed for more money, maybe.
Probably.
And Jin's job was to be his father-in-law's, enforcer. So it makes sense that Jin would be there to meet up with somebody like Kimi because Jin would be trusted to handle that. Which clearly he was outmatched, as you can see as he's in the fridge.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's an unanswered question.
I want to backtrack a little bit because I did have this question and I didn't write it down, but I just thought about it as we were talking about like Saeed's brother and such. There's that moment after Saeed's brother is in the hospital, and then we get that very touching scene with Saeed and Nadia sitting at the kitchen island, and it's that whole scene that plays out like I could never be with you because I don't deserve to be with you.
Right.
In that moment when they're having the conversation, Nadia reveals that she's talking about the loan. She knows all about it, and Saeed offers to help. He's like, I have money, and she says, no, this is his choice. He's the one that has to deal with it. And this happens before we get that moment with Saeed saying we can never be together. Do you think this is Nadia using this as a way out of her relationship with Saeed's brother?
Yes. She's not happy.
Yeah. So rather than having Saeed step in and fix it and still be stuck in that relationship, she's using this as her out.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because I think in that moment, she's using this as her out, and she's saying this to Saeed in hopes that this means her and Saeed can be together.
Right.
But then Saeed drops the bomb in that we can never be together because I don't deserve you.
You know, this doesn't paint Nadia in a very good light. Like, she marries Saeed's brother while pining for Saeed openly in front of Saeed's brother and her children. It's just a very weird dynamic.
Yeah. I see that, and I kind of thought that a little bit too, because I mean, I think Saeed's brother very clearly knows that there's something between the two of them.
Whoa.
But I think he chooses to maybe ignore it. Even though, like, I don't think anything has ever happened between the two of them.
Right.
Like, she's never cheated on his brother with Saeed.
Well, Saeed would never do that.
Exactly.
I'm not
he has that
sure
loyalty
about Nadia. I think Nadia would in a heartbeat.
I think Nadia would have cheated on Saeed's brother right then and there if Saeed was into it.
On the table.
Yeah, on the island.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she would have fully done it right then and there had Saeed actually like pursued it.
Mm-hmm.
I think she would have done it. Actually, there was a part of me that was almost waiting for it to happen because I didn't remember that story.
Right.
I was kind of like, oh, okay, this is their moment. And then he does that whole, they have that whole conversation.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Saeed.
But I mean, that right there kind of is just is more proof that he really is a good person. At heart, in his core, he is a good person. He is loyal.
Right.
And loyalty sometimes can be hard to find.
Yes. Yeah, Saeed, man, what a great character. Great character. The only thing that I have left is just a small note about Claire being so much stronger than she was 3 years ago. You know, she walks into the temple with, this chip on her shoulder, very confident, and Dogen starts speaking to her in Japanese, and she's like, speak English. Like, there's just this tone and air about her that just, there's no warmth left in her.
So you mean stronger as in like personality, character wise?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Oh, I absolutely see that and agree with you.
Yeah. And it was just, you really saw it. Like, it was kind of hinted at in the last episode, because she took an axe and buried it deep into somebody's chest cavity. But, in this way, she was confronting, the leader of the temple, and she was very nonchalantly, walking in like she owned the place. It was just very, very unclear-like behavior.
There is an, I don't want to say odd because it's kind of, it's almost cool to see, but there is an air of confidence to Claire that has never been there before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right in the conversation with Dogan. Even not even that, but like the air of confidence in that she is so confident that with everything that's going on in the temple, with the man in black and this black smoke monster rummaging through, taking out anybody who didn't leave, she is so confident that nothing's going to happen to her.
Right.
She's fine.
Yeah, it's totally weird.
Yeah. Nope. I'm like, even when she tells, we talked about it already, but when she tells Kate, like, no, you're safer down here.
Yeah.
She knows she's safe.
I like it where she's just like, I think you're safer down here.
Yeah.
Just very, very nonchalant. Like poor Claire.
I love seeing that confidence in her, because going back to what Miles says, still hot though. Like, it makes her a more, not to sound weird, but it makes her a more attractive character. Like, not just physically, but just, like, confidence is
is attractive.
Yes.
In people, period.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. It always will be.
And not to say that Claire was ever a weak character. But
yes, she was. I'll say it now. She was.
In the beginning, she was, but I feel like she kind of finds a little bit of confidence before she goes.
Absolutely.
Before she goes feral. But this is just a whole nother level.
We never see Claire really recover from Charlie's death.
Okay, I can see that.
I think that's where we stop seeing Claire so much. Is when, because they get rescued, like right after that. They can't find her. That's why they take Aaron on the helicopter, and then she time skips so much with them that my guess is that she could have also maybe gone a little nutty from that. I mean, she was alone.
Here, I'm curious, because you mentioned the time skipping thing. We never see Claire time skip.
No. Or Rose and Bernard.
Well, Rose and Bernard we know do, because they talk about it.
Right.
But Claire was with the man in black the whole time.
Okay.
Do you think that protected her from skipping? Because she was with him? There's a part of me that wonders if Claire was skipping through time like everybody else.
But if she was protected by him, then that means that maybe she had like that darkness put in her at that point.
That's what I mean. Well, because she does say like she went off with Christian, who we know was the man in black.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I'm wondering
if she was totally fine. She's like, no, I'm good. I'm with my friend.
I think I almost wonder if that darkness that was like kind of like the seed that was planted when she teamed up with Christian kind of protected her from the skipping through time. I almost wonder if she didn't do it.
And to take that a step further, he did that when she was especially vulnerable. Mm-hmm. She was emotionally vulnerable. Saeed, he did it too because he was physically vulnerable from being shot and dying, bleeding out for as long as he was.
Yeah.
So he attacks the vulnerable because he knows that he can get to them. It's just like a cult leader.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She was easily manipulated. She was easily able to be manipulated at the perfect time.
And same with Locke. Locke was the easiest to manipulate the entire series.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
I think Locke was always the main goal for Man in Black to take over. Like, I think he knew right from the beginning that was the person, that was who he was eyeing. Especially early on, because we see those moments where John Locke has stared directly into the black smoke monster and nothing has happened.
That's right. That's right.
So John was always the target.
He sized him up from the very beginning.
Yeah. John, I think, was always the target for not Locke.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, like, he doesn't plant the seed of darkness into Saeed until after the time skipping is over, whereas Claire happened before it, and we never see Claire throughout the course of all of the time jumping, anything. There's a part of me that thinks that Claire she didn't do the time skip. I think she stayed put.
I think that you're right. I definitely think that you're right. That's interesting. It could be that the reason why the smoke monster chose John Locke was because maybe he was the original intention to be guardian of the island. Because he would have been a perfect choice.
I could see that.
But because he was so easily manipulated, Man in Black seized that opportunity and took that away from Jacob.
Yeah. I mean, you look at somebody like John Locke, who has a wilderness aspect to him, but with everything that he had gone through in life, why would he ever want to leave? He's a man of faith. He never wanted to leave that island. Mm-hmm. He was the perfect choice to be the guardian.
Yep.
And you're right. That's probably why he became such a big target. Also because he was easily able to be manipulated. Is why both Jacob and Man in Black were targeting John. Man in Black just won the race.
We are solving all of the lost problems of the universe right now. We are incredible, amazing analysts.
I think the only things I have left in my notes that we didn't talk about is really just Nadia's son and Lapidus showing up at the temple.
Nadia's son? Oh.
Nadia, son. Not Nadia.
Ben?
No. Well, what's her name?
Ilana.
Alana, not Nadia. Sorry. Nadia was with Saeed. Alana, son, Lapidus, and Ben showing up to the temple. You made mention of it last episode of the Omega symbol, which I might have to correct myself because I remember going through the screenshots and it wasn't an Omega symbol, but we do see a symbol this week, probably that we did see last week that I just happened to miss. It looks like an Omega symbol, but I don't believe it is an Omega symbol.
The one that they press?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I found that too. Hang on.
Okay. I think it's very similar, but it's not an actual Omega symbol. But yeah.
Miles and Sun met in this episode for the first time in the series, which I thought was interesting.
Oh yeah, because they never had the opportunity to meet before because Miles was always back in the 70s.
Blah, blah, blah. Sun doorway symbol. Hang on. I found it because I read it. I go, oh, that's interesting, and then I went away from it. Production notes, bloopers and continuity errors. No recurring themes. It's probably recurring themes. Hang on. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. People like dead air.
Just shut up. You can edit this out.
But I won't.
Well, do it for,
No, well, I mean, one of the things I can say, I'll talk about while you're looking about it.
I got it.
I knew that's what was going to happen, which is why I said it.
Shen. It's a Shen ring. Shen, the hieroglyph tile on the wall in the temple hallway that Alana pushes to open the secret passage is a Shen ring. The Shen ring is an ancient Egyptian symbol of eternity and protection. In ancient Egypt, the Shen ring also represents dual concepts of time: the cyclic line of periodicity, and lineal time into infinity.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at, now that you said what it is, I was able to look it up as well. But yeah, that's definitely the symbol that is on the wall. So it is not an Omega symbol, but it is similar in its meaning to what an Omega symbol
It represents eternal protection.
Yeah,
so I guess you go in there and you're protected.
Yeah. Which makes sense because they push that button, they go into the wall closes, and nothing happens to them.
Right.
But we don't know where that leads. It could be a path back outside of the temple.
They're going back to 1971.
Okay.
77.
they're gonna go back they're gonna go to a concert of what the hell's the name of that band?
Geronimo Jackson.
That's it. Yeah. They're going to go to a Geronimo Jackson concert, and then they'll come back.
There you go. All right. I think we've exhausted this episode.
I think so, too. I don't really have a lot of other notes for this episode.
It was a good episode, though.
Oh, yeah. It's absolutely a great episode. Especially with the Saeed of everything. Now, the next episode, I'm looking forward to. Because
which one? Is it Ben?
It is Dr. Linus.
Yes.
Is the episode. Because we are going to get the flash sideways of Ben Linus, as well as more dealings with Ben in the main timeline.
Good, because it's been a while since we've seen him, too. And I like season 6 Ben.
I do, too. I really do. And this is where we're going to get a lot of reveals about Ben's character and the new character that if I remember correctly, like the new version of Ben that we're getting.
Should be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun episode. So yeah, episode 7, Dr. Linus is the next episode. But we do have a piece of feedback this week from our friend Steve Brown. So let's go ahead and play that now.
Hello, Ben and Kristin. This is Steve, and this is for Sundown. You better take care. Okay, so this is Saeed's sideways flash, right? Right, because Nadia's alive. Wait, he's not married to Nadia in this? How is this his sideways flash? They did stick needles in him. Oh, that's pretty blunt. It's Dogan, right? He just told Saeed that he should be dead. Ooh, this is going to be a good fight scene here. Shepard and Reyes are gone, man. And you're going to put Claire in the hole? This is not going to be good. Hey, Dogan, how is Saeed supposed to believe you when all you've done is bad things to him and everybody tells him to kill somebody? When Jack just walked past Saeed in this hospital. Miles agrees with us, Ben. She is still hot. Claire, I mean. Well, you did plunge it into his stomach or his chest, the knife, but you let him speak first. So when Saeed, he hasn't killed you. And of course, both Dogan and Man in Black, not John Locke, are trying to manipulate you. You think this answers the question as to why Shannon is the one who's with Saeed at the end? Because in his flash sideways, he's not even with Nadia. Sundown. They just said the title of the episode. Mic drops. Ooh, that look in Claire's eyes. Ooh, he's coming and they can't stop him. Oh, these guys are making a big mistake if they're going to threaten Saeed's niece and nephew. And now they're taking him somewhere into an enclosed space. I don't remember what happens, but I know it's not going to be good. Is that Kimi? I did see Kevin Durant's name in the credits, so he told you 2 guys are dead now. And now you're dead again, Kimi. Again, Kimi. Hey, it's Jen in the freezer. There it is. The name of the episode again. Mic drop. Ooh. I did not remember Saeed killing that guy either. I mean, Dogan, I didn't remember either, but man, he just slit that guy's throat. And now here comes old Smokey. Uh-oh. Claire, Kate is about to crawl down into that hole with you. What's going to happen? Ooh, Saeed. Not for me. Was that a Death Star symbol on the wall right there that Anna, what's her name? I don't remember her name. Anne just passed. Guess Kate survived her encounter with Claire because now they're walking out into the courtyard and wow, that's a lot of bodies. All right, next episode, Dr. Linus.
Who highlight of the recording is always a live Steving highlight.
Oh,
highlight.
Always.
My gosh. I love you so much, Steve Brown.
Who did he mention walk past Saeed in the hospital?
Jack. You didn't
I
see
didn't
him?
notice it.
Yeah, he looked up as he was looking over a chart. It was a flash.
Oh no, I didn't notice it. I wasn't paying attention.
Of course he showed up. They're in a hospital.
I know. I should have paid
the
better
only
attention.
hospital in Los Angeles, apparently. Well, you know, Los Angeles is such a small town.
Right? I mean, at least like with other medical shows, like at least during New Amsterdam in New York, they mention other hospitals in New York.
No, Los Angeles has one hospital.
Yeah, everybody goes
one doctor.
Everybody goes to that hospital and goes to Jack Shepard.
Yes, it's a jack of all trades. Ha ha
ha ha! Boom boom.
And the crowd goes silent.
God.
Fuck no.
Oh man. But thank you, Steve, as always, for that feedback. we encourage you guys to leave us feedback for these episodes, whether it be past episodes we've already talked about or ones that are coming up. Easiest way to do that is you can send an email or record yourself in a voicemail and send it to us at feedback@revisitedpod.com, or just go to the website revisitedpod.com, and there you'll find links to where to leave us feedback or subscribe or watch or share, anything you want to do. So recommendations for the week.
I have one.
Do you? Yeah, go for it then.
Kind of have one.
Okay.
So it's a book series. So as anybody who's been listening, I am a middle school teacher. So a lot of the books that I read are middle school books. Since I'm an ELA, I'm an English teacher. So I like to stay up on all the books. And I'm also going to be one of the coaches next year for the Battle of the Books team, which is, I don't know if it's outside of North Carolina, but it's a really big deal in North Carolina's Battle of the Books. And my daughter loves to read. Anyways, I say this all to preface the fact that I'm going to recommend a middle school book series.
Okay. Fair enough.
But it's called The Ranger's Apprentice. And there's 12 books in the series, and there's a couple of spinoffs as well. But it's really, really good. It's easy reading, but it's the way that this particular author writes, and I don't know his name, is so descriptive, and he seems to understand that he needs to fill any particular plot hole. He stays true to his characters. There's this book that one of the books that I just read is there's a character that that goes into drug addiction, and you don't hear his point of view from the time he is addicted until he comes out of that addiction is when you next hear from his point of view. And I thought that was just so brilliant, especially for a middle school level book. I just thought that I think that he doesn't dumb down his writing for his audience. He paints such a vivid picture. The story is very compelling. I just finished the 5th book yesterday, or the 4th book yesterday, and I'm going into the 5th right now. And I'm just really enjoying the series. You know, it's, I can see it being a movie. We read the series as a family. We named our dog Ranger because of the Ranger's Apprentice.
I was going to ask, is that where the name Ranger came from?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, but all 4 of us are really into the series, which is really fun for us as a family. And if you have kids or you are trying to get back into reading, but it seems like you don't know what kind of book you want to read, or maybe you don't want to read like a super adulty book, I highly recommend just diving into that series and seeing where it takes you.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
Summer.
There's been some good young adult books that you look at them and you're thinking like, well, I'm well above this rating level, but you still kind of, it's not regressing because the writing is still really well done.
Really well done.
You know, like Harry Potter is a prime example of that, like a great young adult book series.
Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson was one I was going to mention as well. Yeah. Like I really love those books, and I'm really excited. I enjoyed the movies, but I'm really excited for the Disney Plus series that's coming.
Well, it's going to be great. My daughter hated the movies. Like, they made her physically angry.
I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, but she's excited. She's excited for the books, the TV series. I can see this Ranger's Apprentice. I mean, it would make a fantastic television series. Fantastic. But it's funny, I didn't read this book series for the longest time because I was always reading something else. But it was on the Battle of the Books list last year for the last school year. The very first book was. And so I read all the books. And so I read the first one, and the kids were so excited. And the minute I was done, I was like, I need book 2. Where's book 2?
Nice.
So, yeah, it was just really good. So
I put myself last year into this year, I put myself on a goal of reading at least one new memoir a month.
Yeah.
Of purchasing one new memoir and reading it. And I've gotten through some good ones. Like I got through like Zachary Levi's. I mentioned Terry Cruz's before. I got Tom Felton, as we mentioned. with Matthew Perry. I mentioned Tom, we mentioned Harry Potter. I got Tom Felton's book, which was amazing. Ralph Macchio. Like, I've gotten to a number of them. I've already got my books for October and November.
Oh, great.
Because they haven't released yet. But they release beginning of October, beginning of
so
November.
You pre-ordered it.
I pre-ordered them. So October's book is going to be Making It So by Patrick Stewart. And November's I'm really excited for because I love this actor. Being Henry, The Fonz and Beyond.
Perfect.
Because Henry Winkler's releasing his memoirs at the end of October. So that's going to be my November
awesome.
read.
I love it.
Yeah. I'll make a quick recommendation too. I know we were going kind of back and forth, but it's all right if we both have them for the week.
I don't care.
I mentioned last week how I'm doing my shuffle playlist.
Yeah.
And I mentioned Swiss Army Man last week. This week I'm going to mention another movie that I knew was going to be good, but I didn't anticipate enjoying it as much as I did. It's Air.
You mentioned it last week.
Did I?
Did
I couldn't remember
Air
if I did
and
or not.
Swiss Army Man.
Okay.
I
couldn't remember if I
down your
mentioned
recommendations.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I couldn't remember if I mentioned it or not.
You did.
But yeah, I'll recommend it again because that movie is it was so much better than I thought it was going to be.
Awesome.
Yeah, because I haven't watched any movie. I don't think I watched any since the last time.
It's time for you to watch the movies.
Oh, I'm going to watch another one because I watched The Flash, which wasn't part of the playlist, but I still watched it anyway. And then I'm looking through now to see. Yeah, Air was the last one I watched. So I do have 2 advanced screenings this week coming up. I'm going to see Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I have an advanced screening for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Okay. My heart stopped because I was like, are you going to Oppenheimer? Because if you're going to Oppenheimer, I will get in the car right now and I will drive to Philadelphia and watch it.
They did offer a screening for Oppenheimer.
Oh my God.
But I did not take it because it was not IMAX.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm going to wait and spend the money to go see that on IMAX.
Well, here's hoping that, the Mission Impossible crew doesn't ruin that for everybody.
Well, yeah, I know. Because I know they're trying to bogart a lot of those like prime spots.
I'm sorry, but Oppenheimer is going to be the movie of the year. Sorry, Mission Impossible. Oppenheimer is already going to be the movie of the year. We talked about this last episode. I'm hit or miss on Nolan. This one's going to be good.
Here's where. Oh no, I'm sorry. I was going to say when he does original work, he's better, but Nolan stuff is always original.
For those of you who are still listening, thank you. But we're not going to talk about Lost anymore, so you guys can just press stop if you want to, because this may be a while.
No, it's not going to be a while. We're going to be wrapping it up in a couple minutes. But it's Zack Snyder that I'm the one that's kind of like when he does original work, it's better, but when he does remakes, it's not. Nolan is again, hit or miss. I loved Dark Knight, hated Dark Knight Rises, love The Prestige, and
like Inception.
I liked Inception. I thought Tenet was kind of meh. So it is what it is. But I'm excited.
It's going to be great.
I'm excited for Oppenheimer just because of the cast alone.
Oh, Cillian Murphy. I can't wait.
Is it Cillian or Cillian?
Killian.
It is Cillian. That's what I thought. Okay.
He's Irish.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said it in a Scottish voice, but
I don't know either. but I let it go. Any final notes before we wrap things up?
No.
Okay.
If you're a part of the rain in the East Coast, man, it sucks.
Yeah, that's me. We got thunderstorms for the next 2 or 3 days, which is going to be fun.
We just got rid of them.
Hey,
it's soggy out here.
Hey, at least we get 95 reopening this weekend.
I saw that.
By the time you're listening to this, it will be reopened.
And there you go. Perfect.
Because they're saying Friday by noon, which is we're recording this on Friday,
which is in today. An hour.
Yeah, it's a temporary fix, but they had to.
Yeah,
they had to get it temporarily. They had to do something because it's a major artery up the East Coast.
Yeah. Oh, the 95 it's a big highway, freeway, interstate, whatever.
It's a huge corridor, so they had to get something done.
I'm from California. Everything's a freeway, but that's not the case out here.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, like it's an important interstate because, like, using just you and Jill as prime examples, you both take 95 to visit each other.
Yeah, for most of the way.
For a large portion of that trip. Yeah. So, I mean, I live in an area and that I can easily get around it if I need to get either southbound or northbound on 95, because I kind of live almost lateral to where that is.
Yeah.
So I can find other ways to get back on. But a lot of people that are traveling through PA, they don't know those detours. Which, you know, so thankfully they're getting it reopened. But that's going to wrap it up. Yeah. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Revisited Podcast. As we mentioned, next episode, Dr. Linus, which is season 6, episode 7. Revisitedpod.com. Go leave us feedback for the episode. Until then, thank you for being a part of the family. All the usual spiel that I usually do.
Blah, blah, blah. We'll see you further on down that rabbit hole. I got to say it this time.
All right. Bye.
We have to go back, Kate. We have to go back!